Hey, Wall Street.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Today we are going to answer some of your Instagram followers' questions, right?
Okay.
All right. So the first one we are going to do is a new follower, and this follower, Drays, asks about some places to invest.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
So the first thing that Drays asks is what you think about 5G and the marijuana and the cannabis industries, and what companies would be the best to invest in both areas, so in 5G and in marijuana and cannabis.
So there's a few different companies to invest into as relates to marijuana, but I guess it's also based on like exactly how much money you want to put in. A lot of the big marijuana, a lot of the bigger marijuana companies that are publicly traded, stock prices are up there a bit. Then they have, and when I mean up there a bit, I mean they're $20, $30. They have some smaller marijuana stocks that are publicly traded that are penny stocks that are 3 cent, 4 cent, 6 cent, 15 cent, things like that. So the marijuana business, like I say, the bigger companies have room to grow. I'm not personally following any particular company at this moment in marijuana, but they do have quite a few companies that are out there that are penny stocks that you can look into. But I'm not actually following any right now. As it relates to 5G, the big companies are looking to roll out 5G. Verizon, AT&T, the T-Mobile, and Sprint recent merger. So if you want to get access to 5G, you will have to invest into those companies who will be launching out 5G networks for people to add their devices onto higher speeds for data consumption and other things that the 5G networks are going on. So I cannot remember the actual company that supplies some of the equipment to 5G. One of those companies is Huawei that also provides certain rotors for that. And Huawei obviously is a Chinese company, which you'll have to invest into through. I don't believe they have any American. They don't have any American depository shares here, meaning that they're not publicly traded in the U.S. They're publicly traded on the Chinese exchanges. But like I say, if you want to get access to 5G, then you have to go through the telecommunication companies, which will be AT&T, Verizon, and now T-Mobile and Sprint. I believe the name T-Mobile and Sprint, they recently merged, so I believe they're taking the T-Mobile name. So once that merger fully goes through and the stock becomes one stock, picking any three of those, it's not a bad bet. They all have future growth coming. They are now the three biggest telecommunication companies in the U.S. now, so you can kind of take your pick. You can't go wrong with each one of them. So that's how you would get access to a company that's dealing with 5G.
Okay. And Dre asked one more question. Their question is, what are your thoughts on Presidente beer? So just some background on that. Presidente beer is a brand that's owned by a company called Cervecería Nacional Dominicana, and Dre says that he he understood that A-Rod had bought, I'm not sure if had bought the label, but he wanted to know what your thoughts were on that particular brand, that particular company.
So I do not know a lot about the brand itself as it relates to how many units of beer they have sold, who are the ambassadors of the product. Basically, he said A-Rod is. So I don't know if there are more celebrities, more big-time investors who have invested into it. What I was able to find out was that the label was the company who owned the label Presidente have merged or has been bought by Anheuser-Busch AB InBev. So that company is publicly traded, and today it closed at $46.69. So you can't directly invest into the label Presidente because that label is not publicly traded, and that label is owned by another company which was merged with or bought by Anheuser-Busch AB InBev. So whenever you are trying to invest into a company that's not publicly traded, in order to get access to that company, meaning if you believe that that company's that label's brand can prop up Anheuser-Busch's brand, then you have to buy into Anheuser-Busch in order to get access. So basically, if you think that Presidente can sell more units of drink than some of the larger labels that Anheuser-Busch has, those earnings from those sales will push the stock price higher. If that's not the case, then that means that it won't happen. So even though the label is selling good, the question is, does the label sell enough that could affect Anheuser-Busch's bottom line, which could justify a stock price increase? Basically meaning that if Anheuser-Busch top brand is selling, say, 5 million units of beer a month, and this company here can sell 10 million units a month, and now Anheuser-Busch can say, wow, with Presidente, we're making an extra $3 billion in sales. That can push up Anheuser-Busch's stock price. If that is not the case, and Presidente is just another label in Anheuser-Busch that's selling, it may be profitable, but it may not be making enough money to justify pushing up the stock price of Anheuser-Busch, which is such a big company as it relates to selling beer and things. I don't know if that's the case or not. You would have to do some more research on that. But what I do know is that in order to get access to the label Presidente, you have to buy Anheuser-Busch's stock price, which, once again, closed today at $44.69. So I hope that was helpful.
Thanks, Wall Street.
You're welcome. All right, you guys, stay safe and be kind to one another. Catch you guys later.